राम 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 सर्वेभ्यः नमो नमः. I welcome you all to this class number 6 of learning for Sringeri Sura Saraswati Sabha Prathama exam. Like always, let us begin with the prayer. Gurureva gatir gurumeva bhaje gurunaiva sahasmi namo gurave na guroh paramam shishurasmi guroho matirasti gurau mama pahi guro. Kindly start raising your hands. I will call out your names so that you can recite the next shlokas and answer a few questions. Okay. Now, Namrata NR. Ram Ram Ram.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Uttamam. Sanskritam kathamasti?
Sanskritam sulabham asti.
Uttamam. Kimartham Sanskritam sulabham asti?
Samskrita sarala bhasha asti.
Uttamam. Samskrita bhasha sarala bhasha. Ataha Sanskritam sulabham asti. Ataha bhavati Sanskritam पठसि वा पठति वा?
आम् 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 पठामि.
उत्तमम्. अहं संस्कृतम् अवश्यं
पठामि.
धन्यवादाः नम्रता भगिनी. उत्तमं. संस्कृतम् अस्माभिः अवश्यं पठनीयमेव, पठामः अपि. धन्यवादाः. So as I always say, these are some of 3 basic statements in Sanskritam that will boost our interest and motivation to learn Sanskritam. And let us all remember these, which is simple 3 sentences in Sanskritam along with the questions. Agre gacchamaha. I'm just reflecting this slide again for the textbook information. So this will be, however, available in the materials that will be there. So you can refer to it as well later. This again the same request. So kindly be ready. And some of you had asked questions saying that you are unable to see the unmute icon on your Zoom panel, etc. So for those students who would raise their hands, I will allow the permission. I will provide the permission to unmute, allow to talk. I will. There is one option. Once I do that, only then you will be able to get the icon to unmute yourself. So don't worry if you don't see that icon. So just raise your hands. So once I call out your name and provide you the permission, you will be able to unmute and speak. Agre gacchamaha. Now we shall go to the prarthana. I will call out the students to recite the shlokas. Ranjini Bhagini.
Rama Rama Rama.
Ram Ram Ram. Uttamam. Ganesha shlokam kripaya vadantu. Savadhanataya vadantu. Don't worry. In whichever tune you know, if you can remember what we have learned so far in the same tune. Otherwise, also if in general any other tune is also fine. Don't worry, but focus more on the pronunciation aspects and please recite the shloka correctly.
Ajam nirvikalpan nirakaram niranandam anandam advaita purnam paran nirgunan nirvisheshan nirihan parabrahma rupam ganesham bhajema.
Uttamam. Dhanyavadaha. Few places I will just tell. So Advaita Purnam. Aikara. Advaita wasn't told correctly.
Advaita Purnam.
Yeah, Advaita Purnam. Okay, and one more thing, Nirihan you said, but anywhere in any of these, it is basically an Anuswara. Param, if you give a pause and then tell the next word, it will become Param, Nirgunam, Nirvishesham, Niriham. But if you want to join or without a pause, if you want to tell it continuously, then what will happen? This Anuswara will be changed to Nakara. That is the only difference when we tell it together. Parannir Gunannir Visheshaniriham. Since there is no other word after this, it will become Niriham only. Parabrahma Roopam. If you pause, then Ganesham Bhajema. So this will be the right way to pronounce it. Don't worry. Dhanyavadaha Bhagini.
धन्यवाद.
Agrima Shlokam Prati Gacchamaha. Jai Shri Sudarshanam.
Ram Ram Ram.
Ram Ram Ram.
Mala Sudha Kumbha Vibodha Mudra Vidya Virajat Karavari Jatam Apara Karunya Sudambu Rashim Shri Sharadambam Pranatosmi Nityam.
Uttamam. Few important points. The Mahapranas everywhere was not told correctly as a Mahaprana. So Sudha Kumbha Vibodha Mudra. Similarly, here Sudhambu Rashim. Okay.
Okay.
Please focus on the Mahapranas and practice it correctly. Okay.
Oh, Dhanyavada.
Astu Dhanyavadaha. We'll go to the next shloka. So I'm not reciting the shlokas again because in the previous class videos you'll be able to find my recitation. So I'm giving chance to the students to recite it. Okay. Padma Narayan.
Vasudeva Sutan Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum.
Uttamam. Dhanyavadaha. Well recited.
Ram Ram Ram.
Dhanyavadaha. So if you note in this shloka, there is no Mahaprana at all with respect to the Vargiya Vyanjanas. So it is straightforward in that way. Okay, there was one question which was asked, like why are there hyphens in the shlokas, either in this shloka or also in the previous shloka, which is Mala Sudha Kumbha. I'll just go to that slide again. Why there are these hyphens? So in Sanskritam, in general, whenever there are more number of words which are joining, they form a compound word which is called a samasa. So if you see in this, the first two lines of this shloka is one word. Many words have combined to form one word, and hence this is samasta pada or a samasa. Just listen to this, just know about this. So while reciting, we shouldn't make any mistake of giving a pause at a wrong place. For example, Mala Su Dha Kumbha Vi Bodhamu Dravi, etc. We shouldn't tell in that way. So the right places where we can take a breath or even provide a small pause or a micro pause, if you would call it, then we'll have to break at the right places. And hence these hyphens are given so that you can know where you can stop or take a breath, or you can know that these are the separate words in this particular samasta pada. And if you also see, after the end of the first line, that is the first pada, there is a hyphen. That means to say it is a continuing one, and Vidya Virajatkara Varijatam is also part of the same word. So unlike the other shlokas, or even in this third pada and the fourth pada, you cannot pause after Sudhamburashim like this and then go to the next pada. You will have to tell these two lines continuously. Mala Sudha Kumbha Vibodha Mudra Vidya Virajat Kara Varijatam. So in this way only it has to be pronounced. Okay. So that's there was one question. So I tried to answer that part. We'll go to the next shloka. Vyasa Shlokam Prati Gacchamaha. Kundan Mahodaya.
Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Ullara Vindayata Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajwalito Jnanamayaha Pradipaha.
Uttamam, well recited. Two things again. Mahaprana Pullara Vindayata, not Pullara Vindayata. It is Pullara Vindayata. Similarly here, Buddhe, Dha Mahaprana is there. Though you said Bha by giving some more effort, I could feel you were saying Mahaprana, but it was not very evident. Bharata. And when you tell together, Jnanamayah Pradeepah would be a better way to pronounce it. But don't worry, this whatever you have pronounced right now is also correct. Dhanyavadaha. We'll go to the next shloka. Soumya Komando.
शङ्कारूपेण मच्चित्तं पङ्कीकृतमभूद्यया किङ्करीयस्य सा माया शङ्कराचार्यमाश्रये.
Uttamam, well recited. Dhanyavadaha. We'll go to the next shloka. Anita Vijay.
विवेकिनं महाप्रज्ञं धैर्यौदार्यक्षमानिधिं सदाभिनवपूर्वन्तं विद्यातीर्थगुरुं भजे.
Uttamam. Dhanyavadaha. Well recited. Agrima shlokam prati gacchamaha. Srinivasan Mahodaya.
राम राम राम
Ram Ram Ram.
भारती करुणापात्रं भारती पदभूषणं भारती पदमारूढं भारती दीप्तमाश्रये.
Uttamam, well recited. Only Tirtha Tha Mahaprana was not there. So apart from that, other places you have recited well. Please keep practicing it. Dhanyavadaha. Okay, we'll go to the next shloka for which we have to remember. I will call out one more student. Annapurna. Annapurna Bhagini, can you please recite this shloka?
राम राम नमो नमः.
Namaste.
एकमात्रो भवेद् ह्रस्वः द्विमात्रो दीर्घ उच्यते त्रिमात्रस्तु प्लुतो ज्ञेयः व्यञ्जनं त्वर्थमात्रकम्.
Uttamam, well recited. Dhanyavadaha. Astu. So very good. So we'll go to the next slide now. So please keep practicing these shlokas every day, so that we will be able to memorize it, and that will also help us in this journey of learning Sanskritam, and also with respect to the exam as well. Astu. There are a few questions again about how to access the materials, etc. So I have kept this slide so that you can click on this link, so that you will be navigated to the course page, and you will be able to access the course materials from there. Astu. Agre gacchamaha. We will revise what we have learned a bit in the last class, and then we will learn something new today, which I think most of you are eagerly waiting, because there are two more kinds of Samyuktaksharam that we are learning. So Kirtana Bhagini, please try to answer a few questions and read a few words. Samyuktaksharam nama kim? What is a Samyuktaksharam?
A Vyanjanam plus Vyanjanam with no swara between.
Very good. A Vyanjanam plus a Vyanjanam, when these two come together without any swaras, is a Samyuktaksharam. This can be formed between just two Vyanjanams or three or more, etc. Astu. Very good. So can you start reading these words? I'll turn on the timer. So yeah, start.
Tvara, Nyayah, Shenah, Vishwam, Bhishmah, Ambika, Sampatihi, Shyamalah, Chandanam, Kasturi.
Uttamam, very well. Well recited. Dhanyavadaha. Like all the words what you have recited are correct. There are no mistakes or any corrections that I can suggest as of now. So now, can you identify any of the Samyuktakshara types from these examples? Just pick any word and just try to tell which kind of Samyuktaksharam is there.
Kasturi, first type of Samyuktakshara by removing the line.
So you can tell it this way, like of the two Vyanjanas which are combining, the first Vyanjanam is written in half and the second letter is written in full. So that will be an easy way than just saying like by removing the line, but though that is technically right, so that it's easier and it's a generic explanation. Okay, very good. Can you try one more? Any other one?
Sampatihi.
Right.
M plus pa. Ma is written in half and pa is written in full.
Very good. What about in fourth one, Vishwam?
In
Right.
Vishwam, the first letter is written in half and second letter is written in full.
Right. So all these three are of the same kind, right? But only thing is here in this case, one is written one below the other. That is the only difference if you can see. But otherwise, in all these three cases, the first letter is written in half and the second letter is written in full. Uttamam, dhanyavadaha. We'll go to the next one. Okay. Pranaya, can you start reading the words?
Ram Ram Ram.
Ram Ram Ram.
Dhanyah Vaishyah Bhojyam Ritva Stanyam Prichhati Govindah Sabhyata Vastavam Nirudhya.
Very good. Uttamam, well recited. So a few places Prichhati Cha Mahaprana was missed. So
Prichhati.
Prichhati Cha.
Prichhati.
Yeah. Other pronunciation is all correct. Cha, that Mahaprana Cha did not come well. So that is one thing which you can practice. And similarly, Nirudhya, Dhya, the Dhakara, yeah, Dhakara did not come correctly. Okay. So can you try telling about any one of the Sanyukta Aksharams here? Pick any word.
The first one, Dhanyah.
Okay.
It's the same like the before. First one is half Benjana,
right,
and the second one is full Benjana.
Uttamam, dhanyavadaha. We'll go to the next slide and few more examples. Okay. So V. Gopala Krishna Mahodaya.
Ram Ram Mahodaya.
Ram Ram Ram. Please start reading the words.
Satyam Vitya Sotyah Dritva Manye Atyayah Adyanam Dogdi Vastam Stitva.
Uttamam. So main aspect of the Mahaprana Ucharanam was not seen in most of the cases. So I request you to practice that. Mithya Tha Mahaprana. Dh. Dha is Mahaprana. And similarly Adhyanam. Dha is Mahaprana. Dogdhi. Again here. Dhvastam. Sthitva. So please focus on the Mahapranas more. Okay. Otherwise, well recited. Please practice that well. Dhanyavadaha. We'll go to the next one. Shankar Narayan Mahodaya.
Question.
Ram Ram.
Ram Ram Ram. Please start reading.
Buddha Veda Sadbhavaha Purvaha Brahmanaha Lekhyam Sadma Bringaha Munchati Hikka.
Okay, well recited. A few points again. The Mahaprana Ucharana was not very clear. Okay, in all the words. So that is one thing. Dvedha Sadbhavaha. Okay, Buddha was heard, but could be improved. The fourth one, can you tell the fourth one again?
Purvanha.
Purvanha. Nakara is pronounced first. This is a special category of pronunciation. If you remember, whenever there's a combination of Hakara along with N, N, M, these three Sanyukta, these three Anunasika Varnas, in that case, the Anunasika will be pronounced first and later the Hakara. Similar to how you pronounced Brahmanaha, ma is pronounced first and then hakara. Okay, so though the writing is hakara is written first and makara is written later. Okay, but the pronunciation aspect is a bit special only for these three cases.
Purvanha.
Okay, Purvanha. Can you tell again?
Purvanha. Purvanha.
Yeah, you can practice it further. And similarly, Bhringaha, Mahaprana. And here there is no Mahaprana in the last one, the 10th one. Can you tell again the last one?
Hikka.
Yeah, Hikka. Okay, that's it. So there's no Ka, there's no Mahaprana in this. Okay. Okay, can you identify, can you choose any one of the words and identify the Sanyuktaksharam and describe it?
First one, Mohodaya, Buddha. The second category where one Vyanjanam is written below the other one. D plus the.
Okay, the plus the. Okay, these two. This is of the third category, wherein the second Vyanjanam is written off placed. Okay, off placed and written in half. The first Vyanjanam is written in full, second Vyanjanam is written in half. This is the third category which we discuss in our class order. But there's no specific type 1, 2, 3, etc. So I accept that. So if you would say one below the other and in full, for that the examples are Bhringaha and Hikka, wherein, and also Munchati. The last three, 8, 9, 10 are of that kind, wherein both the Vyanjanas are written in full and one below the other. Okay, that is the second category that we had discussed. Okay, yeah,
Dhanyavada.
Dhanyavadaha. Astu. We'll see the last one. Jayashri Sainis.
Yes, namaste.
Namaste. Please start reading.
Adha Vidwan Chidbhava Sayanu Brahmavid Jivha Padmi Alankaraha Vachanam Sanchita.
Can you read the last two again?
Vanchanam Sachit.
Okay, good. Dhanyavadaha. A few points. So Vanchanam. Okay, so that is not Vachanam as you said the first time. Then Sachit. It's not Sachit. Sachit. So there's two ch which is there, and we'll have to tell it with that amount of stress only. Okay? And similarly, can you tell the fourth one?
Sayanu.
Sayan. Okay. So yeah, otherwise it was recited well. Dhanyavadaha. Can you identify any of the Sanyuktaksharas? Just one or two.
Adha, the plus the.
Okay.
And Jivha, her plus va.
Her plus va.
Her plus R.
So which one?
Vidwan, the plus va plus R.
Okay, very good. Dhanyavadaha. So these were some of the examples that we had seen of the previous or whatever we had learned in the previous class. Now we will learn the Samyuktaksharam for one more letter in general, in specific, focusing on one letter which occurs in two different ways. So this is with respect to the letter Ra, which is Repha. Rephasya Samyuktaksharam Adhuna Pashyamaha. So this we have already seen in a few examples in the previous slides as well. We have seen this. So we will see it a bit more and we'll try to learn it. So one is when the Rakara, that is Repha, is coming at the beginning, or if that is the first Vyanjanam, then how it will be? In that case, this will be marked as an arc above the next Vyanjanam. The second Vyanjanam is written in full, and the Repha symbolization is written as an arc on top of it. One simple, or the first example that we get is Arkaha as in sun. So there we see this arc is coming. So this is how we will write it. I'll unmute one of the students to read these words. Aditi Nadik, can you read these two words?
Pa plus Sarpaha Arpanam.
Sarpaha Arpanam. Very good. R plus P, Rip. That's how you will have to pronounce it. You can try for the next one as well.
R plus Ka. So how do you pronounce this?
Yeah. R, it is Ra, it is half R because it is a Vyanjanam. And K, Rk, Rk. I mean, it's difficult to pronounce at the first time, but you can try practice.
Rk. Arkaha Takirkaha.
Tarkikaha.
Tarkikaha.
Very good. Try the last one.
R plus Ya.
It is half letters. So R plus Y, R. Okay. You can imagine that a letter akara or something else is there behind it, so that you will get that second part of the sound correctly. Okay. You can read the words now.
Suryaha Aryaha. Arya.
Very good. Suryaha Arya. Okay. Dhanyavadaha. So if you notice, yeah, how to write it. So we write arc on top of the second Vyanjana, and that is how this Sanyukta Aksharam is written. We'll see some more examples. Narayan Bala.
Mahodaya. Namo Namaha.
Namaste. Please read the words.
R plus T, Ruth, Gartah, Avartah.
Very good.
R plus Ch, Rich, Archanam, Kurchah.
Very good.
R plus Ma, Ruma, Karma, Sharma.
Very good. All three were recited well. Archanam, Kurchaha, Karma, Sharma. All these were recited well. Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavadaha.
Now we will see the second category in this, okay, wherein the rakara, that is repha, is coming as a second consonant. The first consonant is some other consonant, and then the second consonant is repha. In this case, what will happen? The first consonant is written in full, and instead of ra, we will actually put a slanting line, and this is how we write it. So one example is p, r, pr, prabhuhu, prathama. So we write one slanting line below the first consonant. Okay. So I will call out one of the student, Anita Vijay.
Yes.
Can you read the second one?
K plus R, kr. Takrama, Vikramaha. Takram, Vikramaha.
Very good. Takram, Vikramaha. Similarly, can you read the next one?
Bh plus R, bhr. Bhramaraha, Bhruhu.
Very good. Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavad.
So if you notice, for the letter Ra, for Repha, basically whether it comes in the first place or in the second place, the other consonant is written in full, and the Ra itself is written as either an arc on top of the other consonant, or if it is coming after, it is written below the other consonant, the first consonant, and as a slanting line. Please make note of this, how it is written. And there might be a lot of confusion sometimes, because nakara, if it is like p plus n, if we consider pn, even for that as well, we will have to write below pa only, but there is one notch for na. In Sanskritam, whenever we are reading any text like Ramayanam, etc., these consonants we will have to focus, because either if it is swapnaha, p and n, or p and r, it is almost very similar looking, and we tend to tell the other Sanyukta Akshara instead of the one which is being given. So we'll have to focus on this and note that there is no notch or anything else here. So with practice, you will definitely get it. So one important point here, Bhramaraha. Bhramara is basically a bee. Okay. So it's also called by another name, which is Dvirepha. That is, which is having the word which is having two rakaras or rephas basically. So one is here as a Sanyukta Akshara and one more is Ra. Dvirepha means also it is Bhramaraha and it is for the bee. Just one point I just wanted to share about it. And Bhruhu. So here Mahaprana is there as well as Sanyukta Akshara, and then Dirgha is also there. Bhruhu. Okay. So keep practicing these words. We'll go to the next one. Sanat.
नमो नमः महोदय.
Namaste.
द प्लस र दृ समुद्रः द्रोणः.
Very good.
व प्लस र वृ वृत्वम.
Read again.
वृत्म.
No, there is no halant or anything, right? It is a complete letter. Vra, ta, and m. Vratam.
Okay. Vratam. Tivram.
Yes.
G plus r, gr. Ugraha. Vigraha.
Vigraha. After ha, there is a visarga as well.
Okay, sir.
And again?
Vigraha.
Very good. Okay. Dhanyavadaha. So these are some more examples where Repha is coming as a second Vyanjana in the Sanyukta Akshara. Now, we will go to the next category, which again, most of you were asking a few questions related to this when we discussed the Varnamala, about where these letters come or where these letters are present. Are they not part of the Varnamala, etc.? So far we have seen 4 kinds of a Sanyukta Aksharam. When the first letter is written in half, second letter is written in full. The second kind wherein both the letters are written in full and one below the other. The third one wherein the first letter is written in full and the second letter is written in half in an off positioned way, etc. The fourth one related to Repha. If Repha occurs as the first consonant in the Sanyukta Akshara, it is written as Arka, and then if it is occurring at the second one, then it will be a slanting line below the letter. These 4 categories we have discussed. Now these combinations, a few more combinations which we are seeing now, will be represented as a new symbol itself. It is a new symbol that will be representing it with, and if you see closely, neither of the first consonant or the second consonant is part of the final letter or the way we depict the Sanyukta Aksharam. So one such example, the first one is K, Sh. The second one in Sh, Sh, Sa. Okay. So Ksha, Aksharam, Pakshi. This is written and pronounced. Even from the first class, we are seeing this Samyuktaksharani or Gunitaksharani. Everywhere this letter Sha is seen, and this is a special letter or with respect to the symbol, and it's a combination of Kakara and Shakara. Please make a note of this. Similarly, the next one is T, R, Tr, Patram, Kshetram. In this, you can see both these new symbols which are there. We'll go to one more example. Similarly, this one is J plus Cha, Cha, Ja, Ja, Nya, the 5th letter of the Chavarga. This forms together to form this letter, which is Gnya. Jnanam, whatever is there. Agnya, Kshetrajnaha. And similarly, Jnanam. That Gnya is a combination of Jakara and Nyakara, which is the fifth letter of the Chavarga. In previous class, one of the students had asked a question whether this Nya is basically cha 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 ja nya, nya plus ja or the other way around. So this clarifies that. I also had briefly told about it. So make note of these three letters, write it as well. How to write, I will just show for these three letters because it would be a bit different than what we have written so far. So for ksha, it's again like this. First standing line, and then you start from here, a notch or a loop, and then here like this. This will be the ksha. Tra is simple, straightforward. So this is written in one stroke. If you see closely, this can be similar to, you have takara and then you have written ra, that is ra as a sanyuktaksharam, which is a slanting line. A bit change, a modification of that same thing is what is this. That's how you can visualize for tra. And this is for nya is, however, while writing, we sometimes write this way only, or sometimes we may also write it with like a 5. This also is nya. So this is how it is written. Please make note of this. So in this example, you can see all three special characters are used. Kshetrajnaha, Kshetrajnaha. Hope this part is clear. Make a note of this. We'll go to the next slide. So similarly, there is also a few more examples which with respect to the font in Sanskritam for the computer, we will have special symbols in some cases. One is t plus ta, which is uttaram bhittihi. If you see closely, one ta is written correctly in the same way, and instead of the other ta, just one line, a horizontal line is introduced. So this depicts that there are two takaras, uttaram bhittihi. Make note of these points. And next is k, t, t. In font, we get this a special character, which resembles, right, like for the first one, a takara is there with one line, and here if you see, there is ta again, but a half portion of ka towards the right. But this way, while writing, we will not write usually in this way, but this is something which is there in the computer font, that we can also practice writing in this way. But in general, otherwise, how we write this is basically like this. For example, for bhaktihi, k is written in half like this, and then ti. This is how we usually write it, but we can also write it in this way, wherein it will be like similar to this uttaram, that is the first takara and takara is written, and next is the half ka or the right side ka is written. So don't confuse it to be a letter with lakara, la. It is not la, it is the and ka, bhaktihi. So these are some of the special symbols which are used. So make note of that. And similarly, when it is 2 times the and the, this kind of comes to the category of one below the other. But in this case, the first the is not written in full, and hence this is a new symbol if you see that way. And this closely resembles our ha, letter ha. So be careful while writing this. If you see this here, you can see the distinctions. What are the differences between the and the combination and ha? So there's no loop completing like this, and there is one loop which will happen here. So how to write it? This is how we write it, uddeshaha. So make note of this. Okay, this is something which we might miss, and while reading we may make some mistakes. So I didn't read these, I guess. Raktam suktihi, the uddeshaha, maddeha, maddeha. So this is how we pronounce these. Hope we have completed all the categories of Samyukta Aksharams. Though for Prathama exam, this classification etc. is not there. I have introduced this for our own understanding, so that we have understood and we will be able to master the concept of Samyuktaksharam. For Prathama exam, of course, what is a Samyuktaksharam? There will be a definition that you will have to know, and then a few examples of Samyuktaksharam and how to read them. So this is what is there as per the syllabus of Prathama. But these classification, etc., is for our own understanding and making these concepts stronger. Hope these are clear so far. We will quickly see a small check. I will unmute 2 to 3 students now. So there will be a few questions. You'll have to choose from one or the other option. Sunil Mahodaya. Sheila Krishnan. So both of you, please be unmuted. So I will show a few combinations. You'll have to choose whether it is the right one or the left one, which is correct. Oh, okay. First, we will read a few more. Sorry for that. So there are a few more.
I want to ask about this only. Dhanyawad.
Yeah. Yeah. I missed to. I thought I covered, and I thought there was a questions which was.
That is why I was going to a Q&A and asking. Okay.
Yeah, okay, sure, no problem. So next one is again similar to that. Right now Sheila Bhagini can read these.
The, ya, dhya, vidya, vaidyaha.
Yeah, vidya, there is no Mahaprana again. It is the, ya,
vidya, vaidyaha.
Very good. So here again, the dakara you can see here, the is there in the first portion of it, and then similar to, if you remember how we were writing here, hakara and yakara, if you remember in the previous class where we had seen, we wrote her like this, and here we took this and we used this like this. In a similar fashion, in a similar way, this is again a new symbol which is written the and ya. Okay, so this will be just start like this and then write this. So this is the Vidya and Vaidya. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sunil Mahodaya, can you read the next one?
Yes. Sh plus sh plus r. Shru. Sorry, shra. Shri. Ashru.
Ashru. Shrihi and Ashru. So here, if you see, two combinations are there. I mean, two peculiarities. One is for Shakara. Whenever we write sha, half sha, we write this, right? If you remember.
Yes.
And then for ra, that is repha, it is always the slanting line. So this combination, when it comes together, will be shru. Okay, shru basically. Then this will become shrihi, etc., and other things like that. Okay, Uttamam. So we'll see the last one next. Yeah. So again, Sheila Bhagini, can you read this?
Sh, cha, shcha, nishchayaha, pashchimaha.
Very good. Nishchayaha and Pashchimaha. This, I wouldn't say it's a very special symbol or a separate symbol, because it is a constitution of both of these. Shakara is written on top, similar to how we have written for Shrihi, and Chakara. So there's no much change or a new symbolization as such for either for this or for the previous one, but just we have included in this so that we'll be able to know and identify the differences. There are sometimes that you may get confused with this shcha and shra. Basically, it looks similar, visually similar symbols. So that is why a more focus is written on this. Okay, now we will come to this. So both of you get a chance to say, okay, so ksha is basically is this. So whether it is the right side one is the correct way or the left side one is the right Samyukta Akshara composition. So first Sunil Mahodaya can go ahead. He can say left or right, and then similarly Sheila Bhagini.
Left is correct, sir.
Okay.
Left is
Sheila
correct.
Bhagini?
Left
Okay,
is correct.
Okay, very good. That is right. For second one, now Sheila Bhagini will get the first chance. So alternatingly, you can start answering. Yeah.
Here again, left is correct.
Okay. Sunil Mahodaya.
Sir, the right word is correct.
Right. The right side is correct.
Okay.
So because this
Yeah,
is
right, sir.
okay, so it is J plus
No, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
this is a confusion most of the times we get even while typing in computer. Okay, but however, while writing, since we know Gnya is what we want, we'll write the letter Gnya directly. But when we want to type something on the computer, then this symbol will not be available in most of the cases. So we'll have to create a combination with using J, that is J, and then next Shift J or some other combination for Gnya. Okay, very good. For the next one, Sunil Mahodaya.
Yes. So this right one is correct.
Okay.
Right
Sheila
one.
Bhagini?
Right one
Right.
is correct.
That's right. The left one would be the and the. There is no joining of this, and it will be only one. Okay, that is just a distinction. Okay, next one. Sheila Bhagini, you get the chance first.
Left is correct.
So, Sunil Mahodaya.
So the left is correct.
Okay, that's right. Okay, next one.
The right, this first left side is correct, sir.
Okay.
Left is correct.
Right.
Left
Okay.
is correct.
Okay, that is the very good. And the last one.
Left
Yes,
is right.
This, left is correct. Left is.
Okay. Very good. So this was just to check because these are similarly written Sanyukta Aksharas, and what is the right combination we will be able to know. Dhanyawadaha for both
Dhanyawadaha, Mahodaya.
and Sheila Bhagini. Thanks for participating. Okay, so so please make note of this. These are some peculiar cases where we mostly kind of make mistakes and will not be able to notice these subtle aspects while writing the Sanyukta Aksharas, and hence this is important. Hope this part is clear. So before going to the next one, I know most of you would have got this doubt from the previous classes with respect to the Gunita Aksharani, how to write the Gunita Aksharas of Repha, okay, for the letter Ra, how to write the Gunita Aksharas. So if you have written it already as part of your homework, please open that page and please refer to the slide which I'm presenting now. And we will also discuss a few aspects about this. So the Gunita Aksharas for Repha are like this. Okay. So please make note of this clearly. There is a confusion always with respect to the three letters which are there in middle right now. So how to write the Gunita Aksharas with R, R and L for Rakara. So, and also there are a few more peculiarities with respect to Ra alone while writing the Gunita Aksharas. If you notice these. For no other letter, you will actually get in this way. So for Ra only, for Ru, it is written next to it itself and not below. So if you write like this, okay, Ru, that will not be considered. Writing for Ru is in this way only. And to write the Dirgha Ru, Ukara, then it will be writing this Ra, one small line, and then next this Ru. And these three letters, of course, are something probably new for many of you, or some might have already known about this. Then it is just a revision for you guys. So far we have seen in the Sanyukta Akshara that whenever Rakara is written first in the combination of the two consonants, it is represented as a Arka on top of the second consonant. The same concept is applied here whenever we have R and R. Basically, note the difference, R and R. For the letter Ra, I'm giving a bit of stress more compared to the pronunciation of the Swara, which is R, which is a vowel. Okay. One example where this combination occurs is Niraratihi. Most of us have heard Nirarati is a direction of the 8 directions or of the 10 directions. One of the direction is Niraratihi. So there, this combination of r plus r is coming. So that is niraratihi, and this is how it will be written. Okay, in Vedas also this this combination comes in more other places as well, but this one example is good enough for us to remember it and learn. Okay, nirratihi, this is how we will write it. Okay, in some of the previous editions of the books, if you have this particular combination of letter, the font might not be available in those days, so they would also showcase it as they will write half r in this way, put a hyphen and then a rakara. This also is the same combination, nirratihi. Okay, the pronunciation aspect for this letter, nirratihi, that's how it will be pronounced. R, we will not be able to say it as r, nirrati, that's how it will be pronounced. Similarly, this letter as well, which is r, there's no other way to pronounce it. Okay, so make note of these peculiar items, and of course these are not seen in everyday literature or anywhere. Okay, these are some special cases where you will find these. Of course, this ru, guru and gurun, etc., this is a combination that we will see more often. I hope this part is clear now with respect to the Gunitaksharas. Okay, now we will see a few more examples of the Gunitaksharas, for at least for the semi vowels. Rakara we have seen, and ya, la and va we will see, and we will discuss a few more points related to this. Okay, so some of you had asked questions about how to write also for the hakara, so I have included this as well in this. So hr, basically only for that combination you will write this seek, or basically a half circle from the ending loop of hakara, and for all the other letters you will write it below it only. Okay, that is one peculiarity or point to note about this. Similarly, here there is no change, it's the same thing. Some of you had asked what is a combination of ya, ra, la and va with respect to the swaras. Ya is basically a combination of e and a. Then ra is basically a combination of r and a. La is basically a combination of l and a. Va is a combination of u and a. Just for your information, this however we would learn when we learn the chapter on sandhis. This letter I have highlighted again. If you remember from our previous classes on the Varnamala, I had shown the difference between l, which is basically a Gunitaksharam, and l, which is a swara. If you notice closely, the strokes are different for both of these. So this is l. You write this l first, and then you make this c kind of a thing. This is l, and the swara l is basically one stroke only. This is l. So while writing, please ensure that you write these correctly. So that is why I have showed this example here. Hope this part is again clear. There are no doubts with respect to these. Now I will just lower everyone's hand, and if you have any questions related to any of the topics we have discussed so far, I will take a few questions, and especially for the Gunitaksharas of any of these letters which I have showed today, and for Repha, for Prakara, Ra, letter Ra. So let me see if there are any questions. Nikunj? Yes, please ask your question.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
I have one question that is regarding ref. Not sorry, regarding the her. With her, you have said three combinations wherein written format is different and pronunciation is different. Could you please repeat?
For which one? Written and
her and no, her and mo, and those three combinations, sir. Could you please repeat?
Yes, sure. I'm writing on this right side of this table. Hope on the slide it's visible to you. It is hakara, in combination with either ta tha da dha na, the fifth letter of tavarga na, or na ta tha da tha na, or ma.
Sir,
Okay. Three combinations.
okay, can I continue?
Yes.
So when it is something like ahavan, ahavayati, ha and va, then the krama remains the same.
Yes.
Pronunciation and written format is same, is it?
That's right.
These
Except
three are
for-
the only exceptions.
Yeah,
Okay.
except for these three and specific cases and examples I had given as well. So only for these three letters, this is the traditional Vedic practice which has been coming, and anyone who has learned in a systematic or in a traditional way will be pronouncing it as Brahmanaha, haka, this makara first and then ha, and similarly Madhyanha, Aparanha. Okay, that is how it is pronounced. Only for these three letters, and for any other letter, it is as it is.
Okay, thank you so much. And this, the last portion that you have taught just now, the slide,
Right.
where you taught lri. After that, we have again Dirghikar, I think, lri.
This
And
one.
the third one,
Right.
the one you have circled,
Right. Got it.
and there are two other letters adjacent to it towards the right. Could you please explain all three of them?
Yes, sure. So this is again similar to ir, yir, ilr, the same way. Lr, this is la, the letter lakara with r. It's a gunita akshara, and this is la with r gunita akshara, lr. And this one, the pronunciation of this is very subtle. Lr, l. So lakara you are saying, and along with it, l, which is a swara. So this combination is very rare, and we haven't seen much any of the words in Sanskritam with these combinations in general. But as part of to be complete writing of the Gunita Akshara, it is included. Hope it is clear.
No, sir. Can you please emphasize on the pronunciation part, all the three of them?
Yes,
The one that's circled and the adjacent ones.
I'm pronouncing now. Listen carefully. Lr,
Okay.
lr, dirgha, hraswa dirgha, and this one l. Okay, la and l, l. So you will feel that there is a bit of stress, or it is it sounds like a sanyukta aksharam, but it is not a sanyukta aksharam. L, l and l. So that pronunciation is done in that way. It is very subtle. It requires more practice for you to also understand how it is pronounced.
My last question, sir, please, if you could entertain. This basic about the word Sanskrit itself, sir and Anuswar on top. I have heard various pronunciations, Sanskrit and Samskrit. Which one is correct?
Okay, so there is also a regional influence which happens. So Sanskrit, some of the North Indian speaking people would say that. So though it is not a very wrong pronunciation, Samskritam is the usual way in which how we pronounce it. So Sanskrit, usually it is said as ma, but sometimes it is also said with nakara, that is Sanskrit. So which is not absolutely wrong. Okay, there is some variations in the pronunciation of this combination.
Both are acceptable, sir?
Yes, it is acceptable.
Thank you so much. I am done.
Sure. Dhanyawada. Very good.
Dhanyawada.
Okay, so I will ask for one more person. Raja Raman Mohodaya.
Hello.
Namaste.
Sir, you are able. Namaste, namaste. You able to hear me?
Yes, very well.
This you have written this la, the same slide which is on the screen.
Right.
La, you have written like that l.
Right.
See, you have not put that vertical stroke and then written tuta.
I didn't get it. Sorry.
See, the la you see, la in other one you said, when you have to write you have to say a continuous thing. See, like that you have written with a danda on the top, the second one, instead of a like how you have written a straight line, then then va you put a straight line, then you put a circle. Like that, here you put a straight line on the right and then put two, ta. That's the la we write, no?
Right.
That is, this you said it should be used in
okay, one second. I probably did not get it very clearly, but I'll try to see. So while writing la, you write this way. Okay. Is that the question or part of the question? This is how we write it.
No. In la, generally we put the vertical stroke first, then put two this one.
Oh,
The
like this. Okay,
opposite
you write
side-
this way, write this way, and then do that way. Okay.
No, not this. In that vertical line should not be on the head of the la.
Okay, so you mean to say somewhere in this? Okay, like how it is written here.
Where?
I mean this letter, right? Okay, so it is like you write this and then you write this way. Is that?
No, sir. Okay. If you see the earlier slide, you explained last time that R is continuous, whereas la is vertical stroke first and then put two this one. That's how it is. The font also is.
Okay. I will probably repeat that part again, so that it's clear. When we
You
write,
go back a little.
No,
go
it is
back a little in your own font, earlier fonts. Then you will know.
Okay, fine. But whatever it is, what I was mentioning is this: when we write the swara, okay, l, which is a swara, this will be a complete stroke. Will be one stroke. This is what I used to tell, and then you will.
Yes, correct. That I understood. Here you see the vertical stroke is on top of that, whereas in ordinary la, vertical stroke will be to the right of the la, like that.
Okay, so don't worry about it. So some people write it like this, or also like this. Okay, it is fine. Okay, with respect to la.
This one only. This one.
Okay, understood. Okay, so what the major point is that this part of the stroke, what you can see, this curve is one stroke. So that is what is the difference.
That understood. That you well explained last. I think last class nicely.
Yeah, that is
that was a very. Yeah.
That is
okay. Thank you.
Understand it should be sufficient. Okay. Dhanyawada.
Okay. Dhanyawada.
Okay. Next, I'll ask one more person. Mahadevan Shivaraman.
Ram. Can you please explain again how ya, ra, la, va are generated by a combination of two swaras?
Yeah.
So is it available in one of the slides that you will be posting?
No, that anyway, as I mentioned, that we will be learning that in when we learn about sandhis. Okay, so please wait until then, because there we'll learn with more examples, etc. So in general, because since I had told that these are semi-vowels, because of combination of two vowels, these letters are formed. I just there was a question, and hence I explained it further. Ya is basically e and a. Then va is basically u and a, and ra is basically r and a. La is basically l and a. So it is similar sounding letters. So that if you can understand, then for now it is sufficient. When we learn sandhi, we will learn in detail about it. Okay. Dhanyawada. Very good. Okay. So I'll see if there are any other questions in the Q&A question panel. Otherwise, I will go ahead with the next few more slides that I wanted to cover today, and then we'll again ask about the questions if you have more. Okay. Right. So, okay, we'll go to the next one. Hope this part is clear. Now, again, there were a few more questions related to some of the characters that are not there in the Sanskritam Varnamala, some letters. So I've included this. So one major question was related to this lakara, la, okay, which is a murdhanya letter, if you would see it that way, which is not part of the Sanskrit Varnamala. In general, the regular Varnamala, but this letter is seen or is used in Vedas. Okay, in Rig Veda especially, if you see the first mantra itself, there itself you get this Agnimile La. This is La. This letter is available in most of the South Indian languages. So in either in Tamil or Telugu or even in Kannada, and we have lot of words with this letter La. So in Sanskritam in general, Mangalam is what we say, but in South Indian languages that will be said as Mangalam. La is the letter which is being used. Though that is not there in the general Sanskritam, this is the way how we will write it. It is similar to like a rotated symbol of 8 or infinity symbol. So that is La, Lakara. So that is one more extra character in the Varnamala or in the Lipi that you can know. So that is La. And next one is about this, which is called as a Avagraha Chinha. So this is Ramopi. So there is no specific pronunciation of this letter. Okay, most of you had asked this again in the previous classes. There is no specific pronunciation for this letter, but whenever it is written, it shows that there was a akara present in that place. Hrasva akara was present in that place. That is what it indicates. So whenever if you break this or when you want to separate the words, then you will be able to know that this is basically a placeholder for akara. But there's no specific pronunciation aspect for this. Please make note of this. Okay. Next, there's one more symbol which is the halanta, like Ramat T is there, Ramam M is there, Raman N, the ending letter N is there. And in the Gunita Aksharas, Sanyukta Aksharas, we have seen this. This is the one small slanting line that is written below the Vyanjana to depict that it is a Ardha Matra only, or it is a Vyanjana and not a Gunita Akshara, either A, Ka, Ka, Ga, etc. It is not that. These three. Next, we have these three letters, which some people write as part of Varnamala, but since these are Sanyukta Aksharas, these are not written as part of Varnamala. These are the new symbols that are there, Ksha, Tra, and Jna. So I have just given some example and I've written these so that it's easier for you to know that these are some of the other symbols which are part of the Lipi, but not exactly part of the Varnamala. And these symbols in the last line are some of the common symbols that are used in Sanskritam as in any other language. So a comma is for a pause when you are telling a particular sentence. And the second one, which is a Ekadanda, Danda is basically used to say it is a full stop basically. And Dvidanda, okay, which is two dandas. So these two are in combination are used while writing the shlokas. When if it is at the point where the shloka is half, to depict that it's a half shloka, we use one danda, and when it is completed, when it is full stop or it's completed, then we use this dvidanda. So this combination you can know and use, and question mark and other symbols like semicolon etc. can be used to denote that okay, when you're reading a sentence, and similarly also a hyphen when you're reading a sentence where you can break and where you can continue and so on. So just these points, you can keep note of these points. Okay, so we will go to the next one. One important aspect here is we have already seen this, which is the Pada Vibhagaha. Pada Vibhagaha is to how to separate out and split the words into consonants and vowels. That part we will just quickly see, and we will see a few items that are there for our homework today. So how do we write Ramaha? This we have done, this exercise we had done while we were doing Gunitaksharam as well as while doing Samyuktaksharam. Orally we had done it, but we hadn't done it in a written format or formally. I hadn't showed it through a slide. So that is why I have included this here. Ramaha. Then the constituent letters in this word are R, which is a Vyanjanam. Next A, Swara. Then again M, a Vyanjanam, and then Aha. So Ramaha combination will be in this way. We will have to know how to write the constituent consonants and vowels. And similarly, if we give the right side, you will also have to compose the word. What combining these letters, what is the word that is coming up as well. So make a note of these. Similarly for Sita, how it will be? S, E, T, A, it becomes Sita. The telling that a plus sign in between is not mandatory. You can just say S, E, T, A, that is still valid. Or if you want to specifically say S plus E plus T plus A, then also it is fine. Similarly, Kausalya, K, Au, S, A, L, Y, A. Here you see a Sanyuktaksharam, and hence Lakara, Yakara, there is no Swara in between. Though it's something which you already know, just repeating it so that this concept is registered well. Lakshmanaha, if you see here, there are a Sanyuktakshara combination of 3 letters. K, Sh, and then M. Okay, there is no Swara in between, again, between these 3. And the last example, Sugrivaha, S, U, G, R, E, V, Aha. Hope this is clear. Now, this is the classwork. Please try to write down these words, and try to do the constituent part of this. I will give you a few minutes, maybe 1 to 1.5 minutes, so that you can write down these and write the constituent consonants and swaras in these examples. Please do it. In that time, I will see if there are any unanswered questions from the Q&A chat box. Hope you're able to write it. So I'll unmute a few students to also try answering them, and then we will see. Those who have already raised their hands. Satyajit, can you try for the first one?
Namo Namaha.
Namaste.
Mandiram. Jambavanah. The Jambavan.
You need to tell this how this mandiram is formed.
Mo plus E. Mo plus no plus do plus E plus ro plus o plus ma plus halan.
Okay, very good. So this towards the end, yeah, m is sufficient. Okay, and also you can say ma plus halant is also fine. That is valid. Okay, can you try for the second one again? Similarly,
ja plus a.
Dirgha, right?
A. Ma plus wa.
It is b.
Bo.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Wu, ma plus wu. Ba. Plus a plus no plus halan.
Okay, very good. Dhanyavadaha. I'll ask one more student. Dhriti Bhatt. Can you tell for the next
yes,
one?
Sir. Yes, sir. Khadyotaha. K A D Y O T aha.
Very good. Try next one.
Yes, sir. Vipashchit. V I P A Sh Ch I T.
Very good. Next one.
प्रज्ञानम प र ज ञ आ न a m.
Can you tell again the second letter how it will be?
Sir, z plus ñ plus a.
Correct. Very good. Uttamam, dhanyawadaha. So this slide shows the answers. You can make note of it. All of you can make note of it. So well recited and correctly answered as well. Dhanyawadaha. So okay, I didn't find any questions that are unanswered. Some of the answers I have told during the class itself. So I think hopefully I think you are all able to understand it well, and there are no questions which are unanswered. If in case there are some questions that are unanswered, you may please also write an email to me through raghu.vyoma@gmail.com. Again, I will give I'll tell the homework, so please make note of that as well. So Griha Karyam, again, no submission. So if it is an assignment, is the only thing which I'll ask for submission. Otherwise, it's a Griha Karyam. Please do it diligently. So the first one, as usual. So please write all the words that you have seen and you have learned, so that you'll get a practice to write it and pronounce it correctly. That's the first one. Second one, Vibhajya Likhata. What we did, the exercise just a minute back, what we did, Mandiram, mu plus a, etc. Like that. At least split and write at least 50 words. If you see, already we would have written more than 100 words from class 3 to 6. So choose any 50 words and practice it. It is for your practice that you will have to do it. Vibhajya Likhata. Next one, practice and write pages 10 and 11 from the textbook. I have also attached the screenshot of the textbook so that you'll be able to practice it. So this is from Samyuktaksharam from the textbook. So please make note of it. So I have put this in the slide. So once this course material is uploaded onto the course page, you'll be able to download it, and you'll also be able to see this page. And please practice it. Here again, it is the Vyanjanam plus Vyanjanam is Samyukta Varanaha is what they have given. Varna or Aksharam both mean the same. Aksharam, Varnaha both means the same. Varnaha is a Pullinga Shabda, and hence it is Samyukta Varnaha is what is there. And Aksharam is an Apumsakalinga Shabda. So don't worry about this. We will learn in the upcoming classes. And hence it is Samyuktaksharam, Samyuktaksharani. That is the usage of it. That's the only difference. But otherwise, the concept is the same. And there are a few 25 plus words that are there with specific combinations that have been given. Please try to practice and write these. Write these, and also you can also do the Vibhajya Likhata, splitting these words itself. That is also possible. So please do these. So this will be a part of your homework for this week. Do it diligently. Dhanyawadaha for all. And I will stretch for next 3 minutes maybe. I'll ask a few more questions. I'll ask some more students to ask any questions if they have. So those of you who don't have any question, you may lower your hands. So I will call out the names of people who have raised their hands now. Okay. So Soumya Bhagini.
Yes, I had a question. I put it in the Q&A box. What is a comma and semicolon and question mark called in Sanskrit?
So these are, okay, for example, comma is called as a alpa viramaha, okay, alpa virama chinhaha, okay, and a question mark is prashna vachaka chinhaha. Semicolon I think is also called as a kamsaha or something. I will check on that and I'll update you about it. Okay, so there is a specific terminology used for that letter, for that particular symbol. Though we don't use semicolons much in most of the cases, but yeah, we can have a part of it, like while writing sentences or essays, etc. We'll check on that and I will let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Dhanyawadaha. So okay, next Kalyan Mahodaya. Next in line is Pranaya and Shruti. Kalyan Mahodaya, you can ask your question. I'm unable to hear if you are speaking. Okay, I'll go to the next student. Pranaya.
Yes, Mahodaya. In this three, Lri, Lri, and Lri.
Right.
When we make Gunitaksharam, let's see with the wa. So how do you pronounce like those three differently, like wa with Lri, wa with Lri, and wa with Lri?
I mean, you mean to say if we make Sanyuktaksharam?
Yes.
Okay. So then it will be see v plus l will be vl, vl. Okay, that is the first, the basic. Okay, with vl you are having r, r and l. Okay, so it will become vl, vl and vl. Okay, that's how it will be pronounced. Though you may not get any specific cases or examples of words having these combination, but that is how the pronunciation would be.
Okay, Dhanyavad.
Okay, any other question? Okay, good. So next student, Dhruti.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Sir, in the previous class, when you told about the categories of the Samyukta Aksharani, I couldn't, like I was out of the meeting, so could you please?
I also repeated it as a summary in today's class as well. So it is just for our own understanding of how to write, I mean, how these Samyukta Aksharas are written. I'll repeat it again now, but you can refer to the video anytime. Okay, so that is a common instruction that I want to give to all students. If you have missed some portion of the class, etc., you can go back and go through the video again. So then you will be able to understand it better. But as a summary, I will tell. So we can consider there are 5 kinds. One, the first one, where the first Vyanjanam is written in half and the second is written in full. The second category, both the Vyanjanas are written in full, one below the other. The next one, the first Vyanjanam is written in full and the second Vyanjanam is written in a off place. Okay, it can be below it, it can be right to it, etc. like that. But the second Vyanjanam is written in half. The next one is with respect to the Repha. If Ra occurs first in the Sanyukta Akshara combination, then it is written on top of the second Varna. And if it is the second letter in the Sanyukta Aksharam, it is written as a slanting line below the first Vyanjana. So this is type 4, okay, fourth kind. And the fifth one, wherein the combination itself will form a new symbol like Ksha, Tra and Gnya. These are the most common ones. So these are the 5 types in which we can visualize the Samyukta Aksharas to be distributed across. Hope this is clear.
Yes, sir. Dhanyavada.
Dhanyavada. Very good. Okay, maybe I'll go for one or two more people. Haresh Deshpande.
Yeah, namaskar, sir.
Namaste.
You, yakar, along with ru, lu, and lu, how to pronounce yakar and the swaraj?
So I think I have okay. So here, right? Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I pronounced it. I will pronounce it again. Ir, y and r. This combination, this letter, if you see, is pronounced as ir. Okay, it is very subtle. Okay, and similarly, this one will be ir dirgha, whatever we have pronounced earlier, and this one il. So that's how it will be pronounced. It is very subtle. I know it is difficult to get it correctly as well.
Dhanyavad, sir. Dhanyavad.
Astu. Dhanyavad. Next, Annapurna.
Ram Mahodaya.
Ram.
Mahodaya, in Lalita Sahasnama, there are like one avagraha chinna, there are 2 avagraha chinnas. So how to interpret that one?
Okay, I will also tell in one of In the Dhyana Shloka itself, we have one, like I mean, one Avagraha Chinha.
Like here,
Sadabhinava.
Ramopi is there. Ramopi one. Rama.
Yeah, correct. Okay, I'll tell that. So Sadabhinava Purvam Tam. In that shloka, we have one Avagraha Chinha, if you remember. Okay, Sadabhinava. Okay, in this we have one. So here, what it mean is, when we split this part, okay, again we will learn this when we split, when we also learn the Sandhi topic a bit on this. So it is only depicting that there is only, of the two words, only one word is a Dirgha. Okay, that is what it depicts usually. So Sadabhinava, then it becomes Sada will be a Dirgha letter, and the next word will be Abhinava. So it indicates that. Okay. Similarly, we have like Devalayaha. Okay, that also will not get that.
In Lalita Sahasranama, word is Nilaya Raktavarna. Nilaya, after Nilaya, there are two Avagraha Chinnas.
Nilaya Araktavarna. That is how it will be split. That is why there are two Avagraha Chinhas there. Nilaya Raktavarna. While pronouncing it together, it will be only Dirgha. Nilaya Raktavarna only. But if you want to split it, then it will become Nilaya, which is a Dirgha, and similarly Araktavarna. So both places there are Dirgha. That is what it will depict. This Avagraha.
Oh, that means like for A, it will be one Avagraha. For A, there will be two Avagraha Chinnas.
No, both parts of the word. When we split it, both words will have Dirgha. That is what two Avagraha Chinhas will mean.
Okay. Second thing is, here we split four or five padas now. So there is one pada Pragnyanam. So for that, after pa, ra, do we need to include a also?
Yes, wherever. See, otherwise.
Can you please show that slide, Mahodaya?
Yes, I'm showing that. Yes, I'll show that. Anyway,
the last,
we will
last
go.
pada.
Yeah,
Pragnyanam.
Yes, sorry. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay, I think that is here. Okay, Kshamyatam for that. So please, thanks for letting me know.
So will be there, right?
Yes, perfectly. Yes. Okay. After this, Akara is there.
Akara is there. Okay.
Yes. Sorry for missing that. I'll correct it and I'll upload the slides. Okay.
Dhanyavada,
so, otherwise, this will become pr. Then you have okay. So it's very difficult to pronounce it. So you not do it. Yeah.
Yes.
So Akara is there. Pragnyanam. That's how it is.
Dhanyavada.
Dhanyavadaha. Yeah, I think we are already beyond time. So I will conclude at this point. Kshamyatam for extending almost all the classes. Because the content is also more, and when I make it interactive, I will lose track of time sometimes. So dhanyavadaha for that, and punaha milamaha agami saptahe punaha milamaha. If you have any questions, please write to raghu.vyoma@gmail.com. Again, Ram Namo Namaha.